Welcome to another On the Road video. I did episode 1, no one complained, everyone loved the content, so I'll keep doing this until I get done with it, or if enough people convince me otherwise, okay? Sound good? Very nice. But anyways, I want to talk about a few games I've been playing. I played Bayonetta 1. As I said before, I really love Bayonetta 1. I really committed to playing that game on the Switch, and it's a lot of fun. I've been loving the boss fights, most of the Jean boss fights. They're the best parts of that game. I like the story of 1. I think the story moments with Bayonetta, with Cheshire or Luca, if you want to call him that, and that kind of stuff is kind of fun. And it's just parts of that game that just really make me remember what really got me into hack and slashes like that, you know, like Devil May Cry. You know, it's a lot of these over the top moments that are just fun. You know, I love hack and slashes that are serious, sure, but I think the goofy ones are the best ones, and that's what I like about Rising. Rising, I think, is a happy medium of over the top nonsense and serious plot points at parts. You know, a lot of people do not like Armstrong. I loved Armstrong. Best character. He played college ball, and you're telling me you're not gonna give him respect? I mean, come on. But anyways, Bayonetta is a fun game. I am really excited to play 2 again. As I said on Twitter, I am really considering doing a playthrough of 2 on hard and streaming it. I really want to do that, so I think I'm gonna do it. Whenever I beat Bayonetta 1, I'm going to start doing that, because Bayonetta 2 is a lot of fun. I already experienced the game, so it's like the perfect opportunity to play that on hard, and to see how either salty I'm going to get or how far I'll get with it. Because the only hack and slash I really beat on hard, on like almost all the difficulties, was honestly Devil May Cry 4 on the PS3. I played it on like normal, Sons of Sparta, and I think I played on the level that's right above that, but I couldn't get any further than that. But I made it pretty far, and I was like, man, this is pretty cool. So now I'll be able to experience Bayonetta 2 on hard, and now that might be fun. That might be fun. So I'm excited. I'm excited, honestly. So look forward to that, I guess. But yeah, I've been playing Bayonetta 1. Fun game. I made it to the Tower of Truth. And call me crazy, but I suspect that is either the second to last level or the last level of Bayonetta 1. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this game goes. I've been loving it, so you know I can't say I don't think I'll be disappointed with it. So I'm excited for that. I've also been playing a game that you guys might have heard called Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, I know what you guys are going to be saying. Theo, did you play the prequels? Did you play the other games that came out? I did not, and I know I should have. I watched the retrospective that Kingdom Hearts 3 had, and I think it did a pretty good job explaining those games, because I kind of understood what was going on. Like, I understand why there are like multiple characters that look like Sora, like Roxas and shit like that. I understand that. I understand why there's so many Xenohorts and shit like that. I kind of get it. Even though, like, you know, when I was in middle school, around that age, I really wasn't into video games. I played them. I liked them. I liked them at that time, but I really wasn't that invested in them. So I watched my brother play Kingdom Hearts 1, and I saw a little bit of 2. And I know 2 had Roxas, and I knew right then and there, like, oh, he's gonna be related to Sora in some way. I know there's gonna be a way that they're gonna be connected. So seeing that, like, oh, well, Roxas is a nobody of Sora or whatever, and I was like, okay, yeah, I could definitely see that. You know, that made sense to me. So I can't say I'm totally lost with Kingdom Hearts 3 so far. But I love going into games like that and seeing how lost I'm gonna get. I think that's the fun of it, because, you know, a lot of people would say that with Metal Gear Solid. Oh, you're gonna try to get into 2? well, you really should be playing 1 before, or, you know, when you go into 4, oh, you should play the others before you get into 4. I kind of disagree. I think 4 you could get into and understand enough to get the story. I think it's really the various slight references. Yeah, you might need to play the other games to get, but, you know, to understand character motivations, the point of the games, you don't really need to play the others. Like in Act 3 of MGS4, for example, when they do this big reveal of the Patriots and all of that, I don't really think you need to play 1 through 3 to get to feel the significance of it, because the game, I think, explains the magnitude of that explanation very well. Like, you know, holy shit, you know, this is a big deal. So I don't really feel like you need to play the other Metal Gear games to feel that with 4. I think 4 can stand on its own very well, and you'll understand it. So I kind of have a feeling that to me, Kingdom Hearts 3 might be that kind of game where I think a lot of fans feel like it's a very complex story, but I think that in a way it isn't. I think it's complex in the sense of how many characters are involved in the plot, but I think the plot on its own can be understood if you just take the time to really listen and pay attention to the story. And I think the only issue I have with the story being this complex in Kingdom Hearts is honestly the amount of the names. The names are really goofy. Xenohort, Zenom, Axis, whatever the fuck. Like, some of these names, to me, I just feel they're a little too silly. Like, I know there's, like, they do anagrams with nobodies or whatever it is, and that's fine, that's cool, but there's just so many characters with weird names, and it's like, how can I keep track of these names? And I'm looking at this, and I'm saying, I'm like, you know what, I could play the other games, and I still feel I'd be almost as lost as I would be. You know, I might be more in the know with stuff. Like, I might understand this stuff better, sure, but I still think I lose track of names. I don't know, that's just how I feel with it. But the story is still fine for the most part. I didn't get too far into Kingdom Hearts 3 to see most of the nonsense or whatever in the story. I just got out of Olympus, I made it to Twilight Town, and that's it. That's really how far I made it. I didn't get any further than that. And it's fine. So far, I'm not lost. So far, I kind of understand what's going on. Like, I understand, oh, Riku and Mickey are finding Aqua or whatever. Are trying to find Aqua in the darkness area. Sora's trying to regain his power. Pete and Maleficent is trying to find a black box. Xenohort is finding vessels to do stuff with Kingdom Hearts and shit like that. I understand that kind of stuff, but I feel like there's gonna be more as I get into it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the story as far as I'm concerned. But so far, I am not lost. So far, but who knows? That might change, because the thing is that I always think people overreact when they talk about how complex the story is. Because again, like, people said the same shit about Metal Gear, and I still don't think it's that complicated. I still think the story is very straightforward for a game that has multiple games. I think mostly with Metal Gear that's kind of convoluted is the timeline when you think about it. Like, when each game says something and then you play the game that's set in that time period, it's like, what the fuck is this, you know? But Metal Gear was kind of designed as each game was the final installment, so, you know, that I kind of feel that Metal Gear had a uphill fight to kind of establish shit. Well, Kingdom Hearts, I kind of feel like that they at least had a timeline of what things were doing, like, of what they wanted. And I think that, you know, they probably added too many characters. That might be what the issue is with Kingdom Hearts. That might be an issue, that there's too many characters to keep track of. Like, there's so many things to keep in mind. Like, oh, there's these characters, this character, that character, this character's doing this at this point and that point. But I think if you not really ignore that, but if you just kind of put that on like the side and just look at what's going on with the main characters and go from there, I think, you know, it's solid. And I think Kingdom Hearts in that form of story, it really is meant to be played multiple times. I think that's what these games are really built around, of you going back and playing it over and over. But now I do want to kind of transition to the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 3, and I don't know how I feel about it. You know, I played 1, and I thought 1's gameplay was really fun and solid. 3, I just don't know what I expected, because I don't know if this is what Kingdom Hearts always felt like, but it feels very light and floaty, and I don't really love combat that feels like that. You know, that was my issue with Gravity Rush 2, mostly. I didn't play 1 yet, but 2 had very floaty combat, and I never really loved it. You know, I know it's like, oh, it's because you're manipulating gravity, but it just didn't have weight when it needed it. So, you know, that's how I feel with Kingdom Hearts 3, is that some of the combat feels floaty, and it's not terrible. It's not like, oh, this is horrible, man, but I just wish there was some weight with what you do. I don't care about the mashing, as people like to complain about. I've seen a lot. I don't really think that's a problem, because I think that, because what I remember of 1, that's pretty much all you did, was just mash. So I don't really see, you know, where this, oh my god, you're mashing in Kingdom Hearts 3 really shows up. I mean, maybe there was some nuance with the other games, but I don't think that was a big deal. For the most part, I like the amusements that they added, because those are kind of fun little animations they added. Are they OP? Yeah, sure, but I don't really think the game matters with that kind of stuff. I think it's just built around just fuck around, have fun. Fuck it. Just go. Just do it. Now, I think the difficulty is kind of spotty. I don't think it challenges enough, and I think it's too easy even for the most basic of gamers. I don't think that, you know, the most casual gamer is gonna enjoy how easy this is. And that's not to say that there's no challenge. Like, there's some challenge to it, but I think that they don't really push the design very well, or the challenge very well. But it's still a fun game. The magic is used very well, in my opinion. The only issue I had with the gameplay was the fucking mini menu. The menu you use the D-pad with, it is the most unintuitive fucking thing. And I've always had that issue with Kingdom Hearts 1. When I played that game, I literally stopped because of that. I hated it. When you're low on health and you're like, oh shit, I need to heal, I'm gonna go through this little mini menu. I died just because I was trying to go through the menu in a fucking chaos of battle nonsense. And I just don't like it. I wish there was an option of, like, you doing it in a pause screen. I understand that it's like, well, that some people might get over it, but it's so unintuitive. Like, it should either be mapped to a different button or whatever. I just don't like it. And I know there are shortcuts, and that's fine to have shortcuts, but you can't map a lot of stuff to the shortcuts. You have to map such, like, you know, things that you want to have as a shortcut. Like, if you want to have healing, you're going to have to map that to a button, and that dedicates that button. So you can only have, like, what, 4 face buttons mapped to 4 items, be it magic or items. So you kind of have to sacrifice that, and you get a lot of items and you get a lot of magic in this game. So you're gonna inevitably use that shitty ass mini menu, and I fucking hate it. You know, I'm sure a lot of longtime fans love that menu or deal with it, but it's just an issue to me. I don't like it. I don't like it. There's no reason for it. You know, I can get by with UIs very well if it makes sense to what the game wants. You know, like, I can understand in Resident Evil 5, like, oh, the inventory is limited and it doesn't pause the game because it's co-op, and it has this puzzle mechanic almost with the inventory where you have to balance the inventory between you and your partner, because it adds to the management to it. So to me, that adds to the design of the game, and you can criticize the design all you want, that's fair, but I can at least understand the design. I don't understand what the point of this UI in Kingdom Hearts 3 is, other than to be a fucking headache. I don't like it. I really don't like it. It's the biggest issue I had with this game, as far as gameplay is concerned. The other issue I have, which isn't a huge one, but it's just out of convenience, cutscenes. I don't mind long cutscenes. I played Yakuza, I played Metal Gear Solid, so I'm used to long-ass cutscenes, but Yakuza at least allows you to save, like manually save in between cutscenes. So like you'd save and be like, okay, I'm gonna close the game and turn off the PlayStation 4 and do something else. With Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't like the autosave. I never trust autosaves. I never trust them. I only like manual saves because I get to see that I saved. It makes me feel confident that I saved where I need to save. I'll have what I need. Autosaves, I don't know what it's gonna save and what it's not gonna save. I don't know. I never really trust autosaves because there was like one time I played a game and I relied on it and it fucked me over. But whatever. So I like manually saving. So in Kingdom Hearts 3, it was like at what? I think it was like at 11 o'clock. I was near the end of the Olympus stage. I was like, okay, I'll finish this. And oh no, it wasn't Wednesday. It was Tuesday night. So I have a class to get to. I have to do like a big commute to this campus. So I usually like to wake up early. I usually wake up at like what, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, okay, it's 11 o'clock. You know what? I'm just gonna finish this level, or get to the next save point. But I got greedy. You know, part of it is my fault because I should have stopped when I knew I could have stopped. But I was like, you know what? I want to finish this. I want to finish Olympus. I want to get out of here and do something else. I want to, you know, next time I play this game, I want to be out of here. So I beat Olympus, I beat the bosses, I beat the Titans and all that shit. And I finished around, I think, 12:30 in the morning at that point. I'm like, okay, you know, this is okay, I can deal with this. So, I'm watching the cutscenes, and it's like, okay, that's great. Can I save? Oh, now we're in the Dark World. Okay, maybe I'll be able to save here because I know you play as Riku and Mickey, because unfortunately I watched Darks Vidal play this game. Well, most of it. So I knew that there's a cutscene with Riku and Mickey. I just didn't know to what extent. So then you get to play as them, and play as Riku. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be able to save, right? No boss fight. Okay, you know, fine. I'll finish the boss fight. Maybe it's gonna ask me to save after this. You know, maybe it's gonna be like, hey, you know, you did this. You want to save? You know, whatever. Beat the boss fight. Another cutscene plays. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. You know, that's fine. Okay, we're going to Master Yun Sid now. Okay, I can tolerate this. This is fine. You know, maybe it's gonna ask me to save. Okay, no, still more cutscenes, and it's like 12:45. I'm like, okay, maybe we're gonna, you know, maybe when we get to the gummy ship, I'll be able to save. Maybe it's gonna ask me to save at the gummy ship. We get to the gummy ship, no option to save, and you have to, like, you know, traverse that space. So I'm like, okay, you know what? We're gonna go to the world of Twilight Town, and I'll be able to save. I'll be able to save. I do the gummy ship shit. Oh my god, uh-oh. What is going on here? Holy shit. Holy shit, look at Oh my god, a guy? Dude, this was insane. There was a guy, I'm on a highway right now. Someone turned into a wall. Their car was sideways. Their fucking car was sideways. Like, not like sideways, like, you know, perpendicular, where the car is like on the side of the door or whatever, but like it looked like that they turned into a wall. And he was reversing, and all of a sudden, like, all these cars started to back up, and a lot of people were beeping their horn. That was insane. I don't know what the fuck happened. What is going on this highway? Holy shit. Holy shit. I have to get off this highway. I want to be safe. This is dangerous. This is not okay. This is not okay. Now there's like burning rubber I'm smelling. I don't know what the fuck. I wasn't fucking screeching around. I wasn't speeding. That was insane. Holy shit. What the fuck? I don't think anyone could drive in this fucking state. I'll be honest. I don't think anyone could drive here. I think I'm probably the best driver in the state. I'm probably the best driver here. Okay, anyways. Oh my god. Yeah, they did all that cutscene stuff. I finally made it to Twilight Town, and it was like 1:15, and I was like, oh my god, there's no save spot. I'm walking around, I'm like, okay, there has to be a save spot. No save spot. And it's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be so fucking tired tomorrow. Because I have a lecture and I had a lab at that same day. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be horrible. So I just ended up putting the game in suspension and putting the PlayStation on rest mode, which I don't usually like to do. I only do it on rest mode if I'm, you know, playing for the day. Like if I'm playing, like if I wake up one day, play the PlayStation, and I'm gonna do something else, I might put it on rest because I know I'm gonna go back to it. But if I'm going to sleep, I usually want to turn it off. So I kind of hated that I had to do that when I played Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, it's a small thing, but I kind of wish that, like, they did what Yakuza did, what Metal Gear does. They have long cutscenes. You could manually save in between cutscenes. I wish you could do that in Kingdom Hearts, but you can't. So, what can you do? So it's not bad. It's not terrible. But, that's probably my only issue I have with that game. The only inconvenience I have aside from that menu that I said earlier. Now, a lot of people talk about the voice acting. Now this is something I want to ask you guys who have played all of the other Kingdom Hearts games, because I don't remember Kingdom Hearts 1 having bad voice acting. I mean, I know it had, like, whatever voice acting, but, you know, I thought it was decent for what it is. Now, when I played Kingdom Hearts 3, the voice acting seems like it was all over the place. Some lines, like, the delivery was good. It was like, okay, this is good. Other lines just feel like that they either didn't give a fuck or I don't know. Like, it felt like that no one there had experience in voice acting. And I kind of think that's kind of BS when you have fucking, you know, some of the voice actors are from the movies. You're telling me that the voice actor of Hercules didn't give a fuck about playing as Hercules again? I don't know. Like, some of the voice acting just seems so odd. Like, it's stiff and cringy at times. And I don't know if it's, like, intentional or not. Because part of me is, like, you know, I like the charm that Kingdom Hearts 3 has. Like, there's a lot of charm of it. Of, like, oh, you have, you know, it's a story about friendship and love and this and that. Like, all that is very charming and campy, and I do like shit like that. Like, it's charming for the most part, but the part that I'm confused with is I don't know if that's intentional. Like, the voice acting, I don't know if that's like like if it's supposed to be like that, you know? It's like when you watch The Room, you know, like, you laugh at it, but you know that Tommy Wiseau took it seriously. Like he wanted you to take that movie seriously. I mean, it only took like a few years for him to be like, okay, it's a bad movie, but you know, he meant for that movie to be serious. And I don't know if that's what Kingdom Hearts 3 is, you know? I don't know if that game is meant to be the way that it is. You know? So I don't know how I feel about it. But it's fun nevertheless. I mean, I think that's the important part of the game, that it's at least fun. And you could get something out of it. I think there is stuff to offer in Kingdom Hearts 3 that people can find and enjoy. I would kind of recommend getting the collections if you can. I tried to look for the collections of the Story So Far collection. Now, I said this on Twitter, and someone said, oh, I thought they were $60. I thought so too. I went to Amazon, and that specific bundle runs to be $100. And I'm sitting there like, okay, this is an old fucking collection. This isn't a day one release. This isn't a new collection. And the price didn't drop at all. I mean, the other collections kind of dropped in price, but I mean, I sat there, I was like, you know, come on, that should have dropped in price, if you ask me. So that's a little odd to me. You know, I know like PSN has it for $100 because they don't ever drop prices like that, but you know, Amazon, I was kind of surprised that no one was selling it at a reasonable price. You could find stuff for reasonable prices on that website usually. So that's whatever. So I might just buy the 2.5 whatever PS4 collections they did. But again, that kind of depends on how I feel about it. You know, I don't know. I have a huge backlog of games, so I don't know if I want to get more Kingdom Hearts games at this point. I want to get through 3. I want to get through Far Cry 5. I want to get through all these games I have sitting in the back burner. So you know, I don't think getting more Kingdom Hearts games is gonna be good for me. But yeah, you know, that's my impressions of Kingdom Hearts 3 so far. I'm enjoying it. I like the game so far. Hopefully it stays that way from start to finish. I'm kind of excited to see where this game goes. And other stuff. Because I love. You know, the other thing is, I love games that are polarizing like this. You know, there's a huge divide of people saying this game sucks ass, it's a piece of shit, disappointing, fuck Square, whatever. That's like the extreme side of it. Then there's others that are like, this game is amazing. Oh, look how good this is. This is a great game. And there are some moderates in the middle, obviously. But I love games that are polarizing like that. You know, it makes me really interested in seeing where, you know, am I gonna be polarized by this game? Will I, you know, by the end of it, will I be like, oh fuck this game, or this game's great? I don't know. And I do think some people are overly defensive. Now, I'm not gonna say that you cannot like this game or whatever. That's not necessarily what I'm trying to get at. But there's this stuff that I've noticed that people criticize the voice acting, and people are like, well, it's Kingdom Hearts, you know, the voice acting, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, that's fine, but I don't think there's anything wrong wanting better voice acting. You know, it's like, you know, they had to replace, unfortunately, they had to replace the voice actor of Mickey Mouse because the original voice actor passed away. So I understand that, you know, the replacement might not be as good as the original, but I kind of feel he could have found a better voice actor. I just think the one they got for Kingdom Hearts 3 is like he at least tries. I could say he tries, but I just think they could have spent a little more time finding a better voice actor for Mickey Mouse. That's probably my the only thing I can think of on the top of my head, but I think the voice acting could have been a lot better. And I've seen people defend that, and I think, you know, maybe it should. Now, the other criticism I'm seeing is, oh, well, they expect us to play the spin-off games? I mean, you had like 13 years to play them, and they released them on like every platform you could fucking imagine. But, you know, even that aside, I understand that complaint though, because, you know, no one really wants to play the handheld games because the gameplay might suck ass. Because, you know, I mean, look at like Portable Ops. That game has the most like worthless story. Like Metal Gear Solid doesn't even give it any attention. But the story is whatever. The gameplay is just ass, honestly. So I mean, I wouldn't blame people not wanting to play that. You know, Peace Walker is a much better game, and they ported that to every console because that's a better game. But with these handhelds, like, you never know. Like, how is Kingdom Hearts gonna play on a PSP? You know, why would we play that now? You know, if they're not gonna treat, do they change the gameplay to adapt it to a console setup like they did with Peace Walker, for example? I don't know. But I mean, I could see people not wanting to play the handheld games. I kind of see that, but at the same time, they're accessible. You know, you can find them everywhere. But I don't know. It's I wouldn't blame the developer. I wouldn't blame the game on that. I would mostly just blame the timing of everything. You know, it's kind of the gamer's fault. It's the person's fault that they decided not to play them. But I understand that, like, they don't like it because they wanted a game that's at least that can stand on its own, which is fine. But I don't know. It's a very complicated thing. I don't know how to. I don't think I'm describing it very well. So I don't know. Maybe someone can say, I get you, Theo. You're trying to say this, but you know, I don't know. That's my impression of Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm gonna play more of it. Hopefully, I get to see the cool stuff, the good shit. I honestly, I will say this: the reason why I really want to play Kingdom Hearts 3 is I want to see some Aqua shit. You know, I've seen her design around. I've seen her on my Twitters, and you know, it's like, oh man, she looks kind of cool. She kind of reminds me of Lucina, but Lucina's much better. Lucina's the best. But so I wanted to play the game just to see Aqua and the other characters. You know, sound good? What else can I talk about? Oh, I played more Resident Evil 2. I should talk about this as you know, I'm nearing the end of my destination, but I played more Resident Evil 2, made it to the sewer level. Fucking hate it. I fucking hate the sewer level. Every other part of that game, flawless, perfect, love it. They should have gotten rid of the goddamn sewer level. Fuck that level. Fuck whoever made it. Because let me tell you something. So they introduced a new monster, a mutant whatever the fuck. And this thing is a huge fucking monster. I'm trying to go through a fucking narrow corridor. And I'm like, I want to conserve bullets. All I have is fucking magnum rounds. I want to save them for the boss. I don't want to use them on this. And this fucker, this enemy that can poison you, by the way, blocks the fucking corridor. I can't get around him. I try baiting him out. He doesn't move. There's a zombie behind me on top of this. I'm like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? I try to go around him again. He fucking slams Leon to the fucking ground. So whoever fucking designed this fucking sewer level, you're a piece of shit. How dare you make a boring ass level? I don't like the style of it. Whatever. Garbage. I want to get out of there. I want to get to the next fucking part. Get rid of the sewer level. But other than that, I love the game. I like Mr. X. Cool enemy, cool everything. I love RE2. The remake's really good. I'm really excited about playing more of it. I can't wait to get to the Claire story, the other stuff in that game. Really, really fascinated by all this shit. Well, everyone, we made it. We made it to the destination of where I was going. Hopefully you enjoyed this, oh my god, excuse me, this video. Oh my god. It was a fun one. It was a fun one. But that's it. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.